She was born to sing. All the practice she received during her childhood, no doubt, also set her up for all the success she would inevitably achieve in the future. However, numerous professional as well as personal setbacks in her life would send her on a downward spiral to rock bottom that she thought she'd never recover from. Let's find out what happened to American R&B singer Tweet. Charlene Keyes, professionally known as Tweet, was born the youngest of 5 in Rochester, New York. Not unlike many other future famous songstresses, she grew up singing in church with her family and later attended a performing arts school. Listening to secular music was a big no-no. But when Tweet was able to get her hands on her own radio, she would end up falling in love with R&B music after getting an earful from the likes of Marvin Gaye and Stevie Wonder. Her life would take an unexpected turn when she became a teen mom. Not surprisingly, she was shunned by her church and no longer allowed to sing in the choir. She would make the tough decision to leave her daughter in the care of her parents while she pursued her music career. She auditioned and won a spot in a girl group called Suga, who was part of the Swing Mob Collective, also known as the Basement Crew, founded by Devontae Swing of R&B quartet Jodeci. While in the group, she spent a lot of time around and formed fast friendships with other artists in the collective, such as Missy Elliott, Timbaland, Genuine, Playa, and Magoo. Unfortunately, the group never released any projects over the 5 years they were under Devontae's guidance. Tweet wasn't only starving for success, but also actual food. Things were so tight financially that she would often only have a small bag of potato chips to eat for the entire day. After everything was all said and done, Tweet ended up depressed, divorced from a short-lived marriage with her daughter's father, and back living with her parents in Panama City, Florida, while working odd jobs to support herself and her daughter. She felt so hopeless that she even contemplated taking her own life. Then one day, the phone rang. It was Missy. Her career was soaring. She was working on her 3rd album at the time and wanted Tweet to sing background vocals on some of the tracks. Tweet jumped at the opportunity and ended up doing work on numerous tracks over several albums. Things ended up snowballing for her, and she would go on to work with many other artists such as Madonna, Whitney Houston, and Monica. Her day would finally come after signing with Missy's Goldmine Inc. label under Elektra Records. Her debut single called Oops, Oh My dropped in January 2002.
Oops, there goes my shirt up over my head. Oh my.
The track, written by Tweet and Missy and produced by Timbaland, rose to the number 7 position on the Billboard Hot 100 and number 1 on the R&B chart. In April, her debut album, titled Southern Hummingbird, was released and peaked at number 3 on the albums chart. The follow-up single, Call Me, also did well, charting in the top 40 on the Hot 100 and top 10 on the R&B chart. Naturally, being as hot as she was at the time, Tinseltown came calling. She would get the chance to make cameos on some major projects, like the hit UPN sitcom The Parkers, as well as the dance film Honey. A couple of years later, Tweet began work on her 2nd album. However, some major changes behind the scenes would slow everything down. Due to a merger deal, Tweet, as well as all the other artists on her label, ended up moving to a new home. After even more delays, the lead single from her 2nd album, called Turn the Lights Off, dropped in October 2004. It failed to get on the Hot 100 at all and barely cracked the top 40 on the R&B chart. Several months later, the album titled It's Me Again was released. It didn't do anywhere near as well as her debut, mainly because of the lack of promotion. It was a bitter pill to swallow since everyone that worked on her successful debut disappeared once the merge happened. She was then left with a new team that didn't know who she was and wasn't very supportive. Now seemed a perfect time as any for Tweet to take a bit of a break, so she did. When it was time to get back to work, she decided it was also time for new management. So she left Mona Young and Violator and signed with Matthew Knowles, aka Beyoncé's daddy, and his Music World Management. By 2007, she would also sign a new label deal with Umbrella Recordings and begin work on her 3rd album. A couple of singles were released in anticipation of the new project. However, Tweet would find herself in limbo once again after the death of her label's founder. Tweet wasn't only dealing with professional drama, her personal life was in shambles as well. Alcohol and cigarettes had become her daily vices. To add insult to injury, the man she was seeing at the time had a baby with someone else. Tweet hit rock bottom, fell into another deep depression, and believed her singing career was over. In 2012, she took matters into her own hands and began posting her unreleased work on SoundCloud and her website. The following year, she released an EP titled Simply Tweet. After more than 10 years, Tweet's third studio album, titled Charlene, would finally be released in 2016. Even though none of the album's singles made any noise in the streets, Rolling Stone magazine did count it as one of the 20 best R&B albums of that year. While working on the project, she was also able to reunite once again with her guardian angel, Missy Elliott. She gave the album the title of her birth name to signify getting back to her roots and showcasing the music styles that inspired her before becoming Tweet. The album coming out when it did, and possibly at all, is a testament to Tweet's love and passion for music. While she was working on the project, there was also an offer on the table for her to be on a reality TV show. That show was R&B Divas. She had to make a decision since she couldn't do both, so she chose music. It appeared that Tweet was experiencing a successful peak in multiple areas of her life. Also at this time, she began dating Pastor Jamal Bryant, ex-husband of Real Housewives of Potomac star Giselle Bryant. They crossed paths after she found her way back to church while on her healing journey from her personal demons. Things seemed to be working out so well that during an appearance on the TV series The Preachers, Jamal proclaimed that he refers to Tweet as his last lady. He was even there for her during a scary health crisis that put her in the hospital with blood clots in both lungs and her right arm. Their relationship, however, would end 2 years later, but signify the beginning of other things Tweet would remove from her life. She went on to proclaim she was done with organized religion completely because she believed that churches prioritize attaining monetary and personal gain out of their congregation over anything else. She laid it all out in an Instagram live video with her daughter. "I will not do church anymore. I love God. I have a relationship with God, but you won't see me in nobody's church house. I'm not giving nobody my tithes. I'm not giving 10% to nobody, period. That's it. Sorry." In June 2020, Tweet revealed that she would be reuniting with her former group Suga, and they would be releasing all the music they recorded years ago with Swing Mob Collective. They even reached out to Devante, and he's on board with the project too. 2020 is also the year Tweet reappeared on the music scene. After Charlene, she did go back into the studio. However, she realized that she had a lot of emotions to work through stemming from her recent breakup. Over the summer, she released a couple of promotional tracks for the fans before finally dropping the single Never Felt This Way, which will serve as the lead song on her upcoming EP she had hoped to release later that year. Tweet also took this time to speak out and share her disappointment with the current state of the music industry and what women specifically are expected to do to make it to the top. "I feel like female artists have to be over-sexualized in order to win in today's music era. Very over-sexualized, very naked. All of those things which I'm not gonna do." So far, an album hasn't dropped yet. However, in August 2021, she announced on her Instagram that another single was on the way in a few weeks called Never Gonna Break My Heart Again. Tweet also keeps busy touring and helping her adult daughter with her own singing career, as well as being a proud grandmother of 2. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and comment. Also, don't forget to subscribe and turn on your notifications so you won't miss any future videos. See you next time!